Hi everyone. Welcome to Nothing Africa podcast. Yeah, is that the name? Well, yeah, I think we'll go with that. The Nothing podcast, the whisperers of all tech gists in Africa. So basically, talking about from the unpopular opinion, right? Everybody's running away from to inside gist of founders, community leaders, software engineers, and designers, even non-technical people, right? Just having a conversation around that. So before we dive into our conversation for today, let me do the usual introduction. So for today, we're having our amazing co-host, just Jamin. Usually say, software engineer, dev advocate, technical writer. The technical set of people. That's who he is.
A little bit of everything.
Exactly. That's perfect. List of everything. Then, your amazing co-host too, Timothy. I went it at that. I'm not proud. So that's me. I'm not proud. So humble me. Then finally today we are having an amazing person joining us for this our conversation. Usually call her Lady Bella. But again, we found out that that's not her name. That was never part of her name. Bella was not. It's not in her birth certificate, literally. So we have been moving up almost there. As a guest for today's podcast. She's a community manager and also a design mentor. She did design a bit, but I think she's doing design, cha.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So our conversation today is kind of like centered around career lies in the Africa tech ecosystem. You people that are trying to either packaging their CV or line in their CV,
Steady
or
packaging.
or they inside the line. There's a middle line. You can still be here
In between
the whole thing, right? Trying to have a conversation around that. One also, what's that thin line between packaging and line, or are best to package, or should you even lie in your resume, right? They want to even look into people that they don't lie before I end up and just stuff like that. So that's what we are talking about today. So okay, now I think the first question we should start with, right? What's even a career lie? Right? What's a career lie? What's a career lie? Because me saying I work at XYZ company, right? And because of my design, I increase the user base, the customers by 20%. And we don't say we'll not measure out, but is that a career lie or is that packaging? Because again, I work at a company, right?
Yeah.
I did design in the company, right? So, but they didn't really measure the success rate or the increase in user base. For you, is that a career lie or that's packaging?
I would say that's packaging, right? Because you're trying to prove to the next company that you can do something, right? And you may not necessarily have ways to track it, but you're just trying to tell the next company, oh, I worked at XYZ company, this is the design I worked on. So let's say you were employed to work on a landing page, for instance, right? And you know that maybe from how you met that landing page, it was so ugly. I'm very sure we all have that experience where you visit a website and then you probably hate the colors or hate how things are and then you leave, right? So most of these designers, they could work on a redesign that kind of makes sense from what they met. So at that point they can say, oh, in this situation I worked on this landing page and I was able to increase the visitors, because designers don't just work, we conduct usability testing.
Okay.
So you don't necessarily need to say, oh, the company gave me XYZ data to track if this product is working or not. But the fact that they've conducted usability testing would prove to them that that redesign worked.
So how about a case where even after that redesign, the company actually lost visitors?
You will still they'll still end up and say
20%.
20% did make it, right?
Is that a lie or that's like
no? But again, look at it from this perspective. It can also be a contract project. If you're working in a company, right, you'll be required to continuously iterate on their products until it gets better. But if it's a one-off contract role or a freelance role where oh, come and work on this project. It's going to last for 3 months, and then you're done. It's handed over to the developers. At that point, you cannot really track what you've done. So it still boils down to the information you have from the usability tests.
I think basically when you like drive into, permit me, when you drive into the whole contract freelance, something's sparking my memory, right? So when you say, like some people again, they might work on some project, right?
Yeah.
Which again might not be it might be real world project or might be just sample project they don't finish. Can I me adding that to my resume that I was the lead designer or the design lead for, let's say for example, for Nothing Podcast. Let's say again, Nothing Podcast might not even be a brand, might not be anything, might not be a side project. Can I just, if I create a company for those projects, that lie or you see the line of packaging?
Wait, I don't understand what you mean by create a company.
My bad. I take responsibility. I tried to shift this to my head. No, I take back the create a company. Okay, for a freelancer that is out there, right, has worked on a couple of sample projects, not for someone like personal project they worked on, right? So let's say I built a landing page for Earth. I designed something for transportation and stuff like that. Then can I just say I was design lead for XYZ transport company, but it not really exists too, but I designed the thing. Can I add it to my CV as design lead for XYZ company? Is that career lie? Is that a lie, or is it a line of packaging? So not the company does not really, it not necessarily exist too, but I built the project.
More like a pet project.
Like a pet project, perfect. Engineer people.
Okay, I understand. At that point, I would say it's a lie, really, because this does not exist.
But I built that more.
Even though most times for things like that, I think you can just add it to your resume. Like you built this.
Yeah.
So in terms of building pet projects like that, sometimes some projects like that are actually being used by maybe for like a few people or this thing. You have to manage like a very small team to build it, even though it's more like a pet project or this thing. You can add it to your resume that you build XYZ, you did this, you did that, but placing it as a lead for XYZ company, when it's not really
just design. Just design.
Oh, just the
lead designer at XYZ company or lead designer at Nothing Podcast.
But where's the company?
See, this is what I have to say about that. If it's a project, right, that somebody was hired to work on, or let's say it's your pet project or your passion project. You can say, I took the lead on this project, because look at the long-term situation. You might want to get people, so that project might evolve, and you might want to get in people to start working or contributing to that project. So at that point, you would somehow assume the role of a design lead. But the fact that you have worked on a particular project by yourself as a designer, I think we can call the person a design lead.
You just guide it to somewhere.
Not professionally.
Let me
for
lead
that
the
project.
design lead conversation. But you want to say something? Let me lead the design conversation.
But when we talk about lead actually means that you're actually leading people now. Am I correct?
By lead the project.
Yeah, but you're also making decisions for a particular thing, not necessarily people. So for the project you're working on, you're the one making the decision. Oh, this is how I want the user interface to go. This is how I want the research to go. Okay. So it still boils down to you making decisions.
So even if I'm just like learning and trying to make a design and I designed it, I'm still a lead.
Now you send yourself.
You
send yourself down.
When you're saying something, right? I think you mentioned something around, let's say someone give a project and contribute to the project and stuff like that. So that just bring me back to open source thing, right? So can I add open source to, let's say for example, I contributed a particular paragraph or a particular Navu command full stop inside let's say Mozilla, open source Mozilla stuff, right? And say a technical writer at Mozilla.
Ideally, it doesn't have to be like technical writer as a title, but contributing to open source is a long topic, but bottom line is when you're contributing to open source, one of the things that makes your contribution valuable is when you're actually using that tool and you see there's a problem there, and you try to help them fix that problem. That way you're able to contribute in values to the open source project. But the fact that where every day you contribute comma, it doesn't really add value to most. There was one person I dragged about this issue Eh?
Oh.
There was one person.
What the person did? Okay,
Okay.
leave the name. What the person did?
Okay, let's leave the name. Let me explain what the person did. So here's what the person usually does is this. The person will look for open source projects.
Yeah.
Some are big projects, some are very popular projects, and then it will go through their repository instead of contributing something of high valuable content. Like as a technical writer, you have to like read about the tool, get to know what is missing on the documentation and things like that. But this person will just go back. The same sentence that has been there for a long time. Person will just come, use a paraphrasing tool, and paraphrase everything. and then again, that's one. Then another one is the person will just. I went through the whole person's profile, different contribution that person has. Nigerian, yes.
That's
Lagos.
lie now.
Yeah, Lagos. Yes, in Lagos, I think. So the person will, or in other cases, it will be like the person will just go through the documentation and then we start adding code comments, like comments on the code unnecessarily without even adding any value to the already existing code. And so it got to a point that some of the maintainers of the open source project started closing his pull requests and telling me that, bros, we don't see any value that you're contributing to us.
Yeah.
There's no this thing that you're contributing to us. Now, the reason why I even went to check the person's profile was when the person posted that he's looking for a new role as a DevRel, as a technical writer, and in this new role, over time, he has contributed to so many open source projects. Started mentioning open source projects. And I'm like, bros, are you sure? At first, I was like, wow. Man, me self, I contribute to open source project, but it's mostly about code and sometimes in terms of, because I know the effort it takes me to contribute to open source project, but you just popping out of somewhere that you've contributed to 10 open source projects. Like, wow, you guys are doing well. So I went to check his GitHub profile and check through. I went to check his GitHub profile and check through this. Like, at least see Agba. I should learn from Agba. Only for me to be going through Agba's profile, I'm like, bruh. Microsoft. There are so many companies that. So in that regard, I don't think if your contribution does not add value, you should not start lying, because.
So can I call that again? So you say that's lying. It's not packaging. But what did they merge my contribution?
Yeah, if they merge your contribution, then it means you contributed to it. You can, if they merge your contribution, fine and okay. That's very good.
I can add that open source. Let me find a sexy name for it. Open source contributor. No, design. No, engineering. Open source.
Senior maintainer.
Yeah. So I think when you were saying something, right, I figured you made mention of the word pressure, right? So it brought something. Do we think that when people package their resume or package their career or turn to tech influencer, you can drag me for that word, tech influencer, yes. When they turn to tech influencer, do you feel like it's being caused by pressure? It's being caused by, like, you look at the set of people you enter the ecosystem with, right? I feel like these guys are doing way more than you, and you feel like for me to come on, for me to package, for me to deal in line with them, for me to the ball with them, I have to up my game. I'm up my game technically. I see up online technically. You say it's today. You feel like it's pressure, or people just outrightly they want your lie, they want your behave like bad person, or you feel like it's being inspired from pressure.
I think it's pressure because it's the emotional trauma that comes with it.
Some people just want to lie.
No, seriously, I feel it's pressure. Yes, the emotional trauma that comes with it contributes. Is a lot.
Doesn't say you pressured me though.
Are you serious?
Yes. So
to do what?
This will take us to a different direction in this conversation. But we go there and come back. There was a time, right? That should be around. Was it 2019, 2018?
Wow.
Right? So the time Bella had Maserati.
Yeah.
Bella was working in Canada. Me and Bella was just starting at one period. I think I met Bella. That was in the HNG Slack channel. Yes. That's when I met Bella. One of the channels I met Bella.
I think that was 2017.
2017. Yeah. So we're still like, hustling and bustling in the streets of the internet.
Wait, from 2017 to 2019, Bella, you bought Maserati.
Bella bought
I
Maserati.
don't know what's
Bella.
going on.
Bella bought not bought. She was given. Yes,
Oh,
they
she
gave
was
her
okay.
Maserati.
Okay,
God, I
okay,
beg
yeah.
She relocated to Rwanda,
Wow.
right? Then was working for a company in Canada.
Damn.
So I woke up one morning, then enter. I just opened phone.
Yeah.
Well, I think it was Facebook. It was Facebook era. It was still the Facebook
Yeah,
era.
I was still in that Facebook era at that time. Yeah.
Then I saw that Bella is now working for a company in Canada.
Big girl.
They give her starting compensation and package included in Maserati.
Jesus.
And she's moving to Rwanda. No, truth be told, I tried wishing Bella that period. The line of the connect.
Yeah, you never make
No,
on.
no.
like,
I
damn.
disagree. No. What are you talking about?
See that period, I was trying to transition, right? I was doing this Android development that period. So I say, Bella don't make am for
Don't
design.
make on.
I start to learn.
Start to.
I open Figma
You open
now.
Figma.
You why? So you pressured me. But again, we'll come back to that story.
We'll come back.
We'll come back to that story. Tell what really happened, right? Because how has Canada be faring for you, and
How was the experience?
in your
Why do I
role,
feel
right?
like I'm being set up in this place?
No. We don't do
We
setups
don't
here.
set up
We don't do
right?
setups here. We just.
So I think we'll move. Let's just drag back to packaging, right? We are able to like figure out what is career lies. You being accurately saying do something and you really do. That's like career lies. So what's even packaging, right? What's considered to be packaging? What you say that no worry, it's okay. Try, leave and no worry. You see the same thing. What will you consider packaging? Let's say I arrange someone and you look through. What will you consider packaging?
Packaging for me would be presenting yourself in a way that makes the next person take you more seriously. So you're not just presenting yourself in that light, you're actually qualified, because some people can package themselves. So I did this, I did that, and then they now call you after I can't walk the walk. I know if you do anything, right? So I would say it's presenting yourself in a way that makes someone take you seriously. So for instance, like what you said about design resume, some people would say, oh, my design made what's it called, gave this business a 10% increase in their revenue, yada yada yada, and all of that. As someone who is hiring and you see that, it might make sense, but nowadays you have to put more context to that. How exactly did it make? What did you do? It's not about you designing or redesigning a landing page. What exactly do you think led to the increase of this revenue? It can be as small as a button that you redesigned, right? So you're not just telling somebody, oh, my design did this, I redesigned this landing page and it brought more visitors. How? So there's a case study that we worked on some years back, and we kind of compared two different designs. So there is let's say, how do I explain this? So let's say you have a login page of a mobile app. So you're opening a mobile app for the first time, and then you're asked to log in, or you're asked to create an account. So you start creating an account. After creating an account, you're asked to start updating your profile, right? So you have to update your profile image, everything about you basically. Now that's one variation. The other variation, after inputting your username, your password and the likes, and you sign up, it takes you straight into the app, right? So those are two variations. Now for someone who is writing a case study about those two variations, you can say that for this one, where a user has to just create an account and go straight into the app, it will bring in more users, because you don't have to waste your time doing so much trying to upload your profile picture and all of that. But on this other one, having to waste time. I finished creating. Do you know what it means to put email address and think of password and all of those things? And by the time you finish, you're now asking me to compulsorily update my profile before I access the app, right? So presenting scenarios like that, and someone being very specific and saying, okay, so this is exactly what I did in this landing page, and it increased the revenue. I think it makes sense. The person might not necessarily get the exact figure, but the fact that you're able to present it and add some reasonable things and reasons to it, from some reasonable figures and reasons to back up that figure, I think that's would be considered as packaging and not lying.
Okay. So if I should get you right, in essence, packaging basically means like presenting your work in the best way possible, so that people can understand what you did and how that your work created impact
Yeah.
for others.
Not necessarily. There is that,
Okay.
and then there's also the set of people that have not necessarily done the work,
Oh.
but they want to look serious.
So I've not done the work. I can still put it in my CV that I did it.
In this ecosystem, you and I sabi as they go now.
Yeah, I know Sabio.
Yeah.
I know Sabio.
I don't know.
You and I sabi as they go. Some people do that a lot, because the tech industry, the job market, you see that almost every year companies are laying off.
Yeah.
They are laying off seniors, they are laying off managers. And you, when we say just start your tech career, how will you measure up to that person that you just laid off? Right? So this is what pushes a lot of people to package themselves in such a way that, you're trying to make your work look serious, you've achieved this, and the good thing about it is most people, when they do that, they can defend it.
Yeah.
But the bad thing is some people, they do it and they eventually land a job and they mess it up.
So if I package my CV and I got to the part where I got a job and I know I can't do it, I can't handle it in the end, does that classify that I'm an outright liar from the beginning?
When I lie be that.
You package it. Again, I can still even package it.
Okay.
Get the rule and just outsource it.
I think I still have something to say in terms of the packaging.
If you get, let's say you package yourself, and you get the role and you cannot do it, there are various ways to do it. Either you learn on the job, so you learn and try not to get caught. I'm not advising, please, anybody. I'm not advising you to do that.
Bring your
I
notebook.
beg.
Okay.
And your pen.
So if you can learn on the job, right? Because I mean, long story short, Sapa dey everywhere.
Yeah, normal.
Everybody dey
normal.
find money.
Uh-huh.
So anything we won't do, we go get to this job, right? You would, even if it's to ask for referral, all those things are still inside packaging. But long story short, as they package yourself, they go. They give you something when you know if you do. Either you try to learn on the job to deliver without getting emphasis on without getting caught, because most of these jobs are
you are a fraud.
most of these jobs they are usually fast paced.
Yeah.
So you know go to get the time to say, oh, I need to come and learn this, to be able to deliver. Another way is to outsource while learning.
I have one question, right, regarding this whole packaging and line, right? So you know most times when a company want to hire you, right, they're not asking what's your previous salary, right? So and you know how this industry be, Sapade in your word, Sapade, even in my word, Sapade. So we're not saying, okay, what's the previous salary, and most I don't want to use that to gauge
how much they'll give you right now.
Exactly, right. And as you start out, right, you might end up working for Nigerian companies most times, right, and they pay you 250k. 300k, 400k, and God will do one for you. Say you don't do that level, like say a remote international, right? Maybe a US based company or a UK based company, right? And you're not asking, okay,
how much do you want?
How much you want? That would
what was your previous salary?
Previous salary.
Yeah.
So now my previous salary before was 450,000 naira.
That's like
that's less than.
That's like $250.
Right? And we know when it comes to international pays, we're looking at 1,000 USD plus, right? So if I use the word, if I say on my previous role, right, as a product designer, a staff, my God, a staff designer at SYZ company, I was earning around 30 to 40k USD per year, right? Agba. Well, on average, I was like 3 to 4 million naira, let's say like that per year. So when I use the word like, okay, I'm earning 30 to 35k thousand USD, right, per year, and submit it, right, as my previous salary, does that count as a lie, or that one said join as packaging?
Oh, Bob, a packaging, no.
I would say I would throw this question around.
Not packaging, no. So, let me defend myself in that part.
Okay,
so,
let's listen.
I'm saying packaging because you know the economy you're in. So for Nigerians now, you sabi the market. You know, say if they pay you maybe 200k, what you go buy, how you go pay house rent, let's say you have someone depending on you and all of that. Most Nigerian companies, in fact majority of Nigerian companies don't understand that, or maybe they do but they intentionally do not want to make lives easy for their employees. Another thing, economy is affecting them too, and maybe they probably not raised funds and all of those things, quite understood.
I will still, again, wait, sorry for cutting you short, we'll still go to people that haven't raised millions of dollars still paying them.
I had one.
Oh, sorry. My bad.
Continue, sorry.
So in that case, or in that scenario, you have an interview with an international company that wants to pay you. I think for me, I talk myself. Let me use myself as an example now. For me, right, if I find myself in that situation, I would contact. I mean, I've done it before. Really, I'll contact my people, contact my friends, contact people that are working in similar roles. What do you think about this? Right, just hearing people's perspective on that matter, hearing about the price. Because me, when I started my career, I used to have that issue of pricing my work. You know, somebody reaches out to me, or how much would you charge for this, or how much, what's your salary expectation? I will not really know what to say. I've had a situation before where I told a company my salary expectation, and they ended up paying me even more than what I expected.
Wow.
You know, they are like, you undersold yourself. I mean,
a
you
company
shot
not
yourself.
past 5.
You shot,
They're not past 5.
you shot yourself in the leg. You know, imagine we didn't have a budget and decided to stick to this budget. You know, it would have been easy for us to underpay you. You know, so some companies are actually very truthful. If you tell them what your salary expectation is or what you were earning before, you know, they can tell you. I also have friends like that, you know, they gave a company their salary expectation and they ended up receiving even more, because there's always a budget before a company sets out to hire. There's always that maximum budget that they can go. So maybe even all the dragging and the negotiation, I'm not collecting this, I'll collect this. You know, last they always have a cap that's, you know, the maximum number that they get to. So for me, reaching out to people, asking them about, you know, salaries in that level, you know, and saying it back to the company. The only thing I know that strokes me before is having to prove my previous salary.
Did they ask for pay?
Yeah, some of them ask now. Yes, now. You don't know.
No, I've never.
Some
had
of them
that
ask
before, though.
Actually, Nigerian companies.
Oh, Nigerian companies.
Yeah, they ask for pay slip
Wow.
from your previous company.
Wow.
So if you now hide
it's not pay slip.
I know.
What's going on?
But really, some of them ask for pay slip. At that point, if you're someone that is not resourceful, you know, you might choke yourself.
I love the word you use, like, for small is not resourceful. That's a problem for you, right? So I think we could, like, we have done a little bit of, you know, differentiating was packaging, towards career-lize and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think what we could dive more into at this point is just, you know, looking around what has made the backlash that have come from career-lize, right? So if you your own career is based on lies, right? So what we
if
have?
you're a fraud,
If you're a fraud, the worst of there's one guy that usually see will tell you that, I fraud this company and this rule. I'm a fraud. So every day I wake up, every morning I wake up, I say, I'm a fraud, right? So let's say you are a fraud, right? And
They are a fraud.
let's say let's say they are a fraud, right? And what will you say, right? There is the consequences of being a fraud, right? What have you seen in the ecosystem that's okay? This person was a fraud, and this what happened, right? And again, they affected the career in a bad way or in a good way. We can never have the conversation and figure out that you can be a fraud and still make it. You can fraud your way into
to the top.
You can fraud your way to the top.
You can fraud your way to the top and maintain it.
Right. Something just pop up in my mind. Fraud your way to the top. Right. So again for you, right? So what do you feel like are consequences? In fraud your way to the top. That's the perfect word.
Consequences.
Or are there even consequences in fraud your way to the top?
Actually, yeah. You know, it makes people or the companies lose interest or lose trust in you. Because, you know, I mean, obviously, I lie about what I do and then somehow manage to, make it, just learn along and just, cope and, try to measure up to expectations and all of that. In the long run, when a company or an individual that you're working with figures out that, or more, this person don't do- this person don't do this.
You cannot wait till they do.
It will make them lose the trust, because at that point they are asking themselves, what else is this person lying about?
Yeah.
Because I mean, this is just one that we finally discovered.
Yeah.
There could be others, that they don't know. So it will make them lose trust in you, and then losing trust in you can lead to so many things. It can lead to them firing you, or it can lead to them conducting. Honestly, if a company wants to conduct a background check on you, even you said no fear.
Your mind
Can you do background check for people working from Nigeria?
I think
It's
so.
possible. Yes,
It's possible.
it is.
To an extent, yes. Not
Yeah,
it
to an
won't
extent.
be as efficient as Europe and
And one came back, right?
Mm-hmm.
One has not come back. So again, me, I don't have, I will say what I want to say and drop my teacup and I'm off this podcast.
wow.
But yeah, and I will go back to it's fine. Before I will drive to that person I want to talk about, right? And just to figure out, let's run through again, if we can even learn from that particular thing that happened, and also those who are already in that particular route of that already fraud their way to the top, how they can recall back from frauding their way to the top, and also how they can maintain the steez being a fraud on the top, right? So I want to go back to what I said earlier when I said Lady Bella, she pressured me 2017.
Yeah. Let's talk about our story.
Exactly.
What happened?
What really happened?
Bella,
right?
what
So
happened?
Okay, I will ask 3 questions, right? Then
I have 2 questions.
Okay, you have to. I have to.
This is a setup.
Then
I'm done. I know they do it.
Then you can give
No. My questions are very easy.
I
Very
know they
easy.
do it again.
then you can give your story behind the oath, right?
Okay.
So the first question I have is 2018 or 2017, 2019 ish. I can't really figure out the year. Did you one way or the other drive a Maserati?
Oh my god.
You collect Maserati,
No.
you don't collect.
Not like Maserati.
No.
Around that
Really?
same year, did you
Uh-huh.
relocate to
Rwanda.
Rwanda?
Well, now they get all this
Ah.
information now.
You look at that.
What's going on?
Play my fans.
maybe I have a doppelganger or something.
No.
No, it was you. I saw you now.
There's a proof.
Yes, I saw
There's
it.
proof. I
There's
saw
evidence.
a particular post, a tweet made by a big chief, Victor Semota. That period, I saw your face there, Canada road.
God, that beg.
Oh, yeah.
Canada,
So,
you were looking all
okay.
good with makeup and everything.
You didn't go to Rwanda.
No.
That time you didn't work for a Canada company.
Well, okay. So here's the gist.
Okay. I like the story. Oh yeah.
Here's the gist.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't travel anywhere. First of all, I was in Nigeria. In fact, I was in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, Nigeria.
Nigeria.
Full stop. That's where I was.
Damn.
I've always worked remotely.
Okay.
So I think the misconception about that was I was contracted to work on a freelance project.
Mm-hmm.
Now you know that most times freelance projects could last up to a month, 2
Yeah,
months, 3
2
months,
months, a
and
year,
all of that. But in my opinion, I was micromanaged because I had to finish 3 projects in less than 1 month.
Damn.
And you know how
project.
real projects.
Okay.
I know how stressful it can. Most of those projects had dashboards.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
So you know how it can be for a designer to work on 3 projects simultaneously. And the pay was not.
So you were now.
The
Canadian
pay was not
dollars.
paying.
I was not card.
Wait, was the payment in naira or
So
it
in
was
Naira.
in naira?
Yeah.
We
And
were
if I
not
remember
card.
correct, it was less than 200k. I
Yeah,
think it was even less than 150k.
Wow.
actually.
Wait.
So,
That
Wow.
was the Canada rule. You're seeing online.
so
Was that the Canadian rule we're
the
seeing?
Canada thing that people saw
Okay.
was, I think, one of the projects. The owner of that project was based in Canada.
Okay.
So
Okay.
as soon as take see
Is that package or is
online.
that lie?
Oh, Bob, na lie.
Yeah.
We were come out this country. So
No, but
lie,
I have one question there. They give you Maserati. I mean, they no give you.
which one be Maserati? Where you getting your facts from?
No, because
the
I
internet.
remember when that was the
I
first
saw
time.
it.
I think that was the first time I heard of
The
Maserati
founder
from
of that
somebody close to
outsourcing
me.
company, right?
Mhm.
Or was it a company?
Yeah, more like an agency.
An agency, right?
Yeah.
One of the agency tweeted that, posted on Facebook and also tweeted. I'm not sure. We're not in Twitter then, right? It was on Facebook.
I think they also posted
me, I
on
was
Twitter, but
really
we're not very
active.
active.
We're not
there.
active, right? They posted that they gave you Maserati. They
God,
gave
Diego.
not just even you. I will say your name and I will say it. I saw post. I think this guy was there. Bolaji was there.
Wow.
I think Cheesy.
Boys on the Pico.
Conversation right there on Facebook. That when I was learning Android. I think I was even Cheesy even pressured me too. Cheesy pressured me. Can't say Cheesy pressured me. That was Facebook period when we were doing this whole thing with. I will call the name of the company. I will say it now. Fave code 54. I will Japa. Wow. I was pressured, right?
I was not a part of this conversation.
I nearly start packaging myself. I won't say lie, right? I nearly start packaging. I moved.
You nearly started packaging, but you started lying.
Hey,
I can never confirm, not deny what you're saying. What I'm saying is, due to Bella's definition of packaging.
No. I counter it. I was not doing any of those things. I was really active online that period.
But you were focused.
So I remember that at some point.
It's like they were helping you to package.
It'd be like, let's put it like that. Because at some point I would come online and tweet, "Oh, I don't have a job."
Oh.
But you're in Canada.
And you own a Maserati.
So I remember a tweet where I posted that I have been jobless for I think about 3-4 months.
Yeah.
And someone commented, the person just put 2 eyeball emoji, give me say,
you in Canada.
No, they work. So me, I now said the person, how we go call him now?
Contractor.
The contractor, yeah, the founder.
Okay.
Now commented, he said, DM me. Me now, Sabi waiting they happen for DM.
Wait.
Because I'm like, you're not giving me feedback on the current project that I'm working on. Nothing is happening. You just give me projects, ask me to work on it quick. Before you know it, you give me another one. You tell me you're testing me with a small amount.
Wow.
He commented.
Wait.
So it was a test.
What was the test? Okay, we're on probation, not chart when you were in Canada.
You bad test. So he commented. He was like, message me,
yes,
and then that message caused a lot of step. People I didn't even expect commented on that tweet. Like, me too. I need this job. And at that point, I was just fed up because nothing is happening. Don't come online and pretend as though you're giving me one grand job. You know, when that whole stuff happened, the few people that knew about it called me like, Bella, come online, something is happening.
So why did you speak up that time?
I didn't speak up because where that guy been there, founder, CEO, the status and the hype that everybody were giving at that time. You cannot just come out and say this is what is happening. They feel don't believe you. They feel blacklist you for the
I think that thing is still happening to today.
It's still happening.
Because of it's happening all the time.
They just create a clip, right? So again, I would say this out there literally, right? So the case of what I was trying to say, right? There was a particular guy that came from nowhere in the industry, right? So I won't call his name. I don't.
Yeah, I know. I think I know where you're going to. That guy was one of my guys' mentor.
But yes.
Oh my God.
One of my guys' mentor. I know him.
I can call companies' name, right? But I can't call individual names, right? I can't call individual names, right?
Okay.
So that particular guy, right? He just came out from nowhere in the industry. Maybe he's somewhere, but me, I usually pride myself as me and my guy. We usually call ourselves CIA of the industry. Something happened recently. We figure out who the person was in less than 10 to 20 minutes, right? So the guy came out from nowhere, for my opinion, right? Then all of a sudden, he was driving, he said he owned a Tesla,
a Tesla.
He owned a Tesla. I said, Tesla?
Own
this same industry.
a robotic dog.
He owned a robotic dog.
This same industry where we
The
do
wine. So,
he
just
get money.
He had
Money deal.
money. He come from nowhere. You don't start seeing him with some of, I can use the word, I will quote the word self. Tech influencers, major tech bros. Right?
What's in be this influencer thing?
Okay, let me drop this influencer. There are some people. Again, that thing will drive us into packaging and line. There's some people who are in the tech industry in Africa, right? That have a lot of followers. If you check them on Twitter, and we're running 10K, 20K, 30K followers, right, on Twitter. And you figure out that they're not really sabi the work. I had a first-hand experience with that creativity, right? So there was a particular popular designer, right, that was contracted for a particular role. So a friend of mine, his company was hiring, right? It was design lead. His company was hiring for the role. Then he put it out there that, hey, what's up, designers, come apply. So that guy applied, and my guy had to like dish every other application and just like
prioritize
that guy.
Yeah.
This guy
Senior man.
Senior
man is here.
I heard that guy. Bullshit, bro. Bullshit, sis. This shit only God knows where was getting the designs from. And submitting. They let him off in space of 1 month. Him off. Crazy. And had to hire.
It was that bad.
They had to hire a normal.
What's a normal designer from? What do you mean?
A non-influencer.
A non-influencer designer.
Non-influencer designer.
Yeah.
Right? So back to what I was saying regarding this particular guy that just popped up when you were saying the ecosystem kind of encouraged it. So people will just come from nowhere with maybe money or no money, with high followership. Whether they buy those followers, I don't know, buy those followers. Because sometimes I will start tracking engagement from those accounts. I can't even see adults 50k followers and 20k followers.
Some of it is controversy. They just create controversies around their accounts to get the high followership.
Equal to that particular followership, right?
Yeah.
So it popped up in the ecosystem. I started speaking at various events, started moving with various popular tech bros and stuff like that. Then I was telling my guy that the other guy was his mentor. I said, this your guy, they suspect him. Then my guy said, his mentor.
Have you seen the evidence?
I don't see once in a while you see that he has worked with
this
AI, machine learning, robotics, IBM, Microsoft, MIT. Like he went to MIT too, right? Did stuff at MIT and a lot of things, right? So CV was on point. LinkedIn top, Twitter account amazing. The tech influencers moving with them.
Senior man.
Then I think
a full package.
Yes, from a career. It started from a career thing.
Yeah.
And ended up founding a company. And they invested in the company.
And who invested?
People.
What investors?
People.
Okay, people invested.
People got investment too.
Even his fellow guys, like again the word tech influencers, right? And also VCs and angel investors. They did invested in that particular company, right? And we later then find out that nothing come out, no MIT,
don't cast.
IBM, Microsoft, no major tech company, all was just a force.
So wait, I have a question. How do they prove it? Because I know that anything that has to do with founding a company, you guys show proof, Abi. Is it just me?
That day was dropping snippet of some materials. I think it took someone online that period that started bringing the code.
Someone had to investigate everything and bring it up.
This came from here. This came from here. Someone did it out. I'm forgetting the person's name. That person took it upon himself and said, this guy is a fraud. And brought so many examples saying it was a fraud. But yeah, it happens in the ecosystem. And I feel like the ecosystem kind of like encouraged it. And I think most people should try to find a way whereby we don't just bash for people or get people, relate to people without really vetting
who they are.
There also has to be a way for people to speak up, because you might not necessarily fall in these categories you're mentioning. It can be anything. This tech ecosystem is very large.
Yeah, it can be from the perspective.
Can happen.
They're using it to package a particular scenario, and you're not really there, but they're saying you are there. But if you say something about it,
you can't even speak up, sir, because these people are they are backed up by the top people.
Yes,
so you speaking without proper evidence or whatever, it's.
So what's the fear in speaking? What do you mean by they are backed up by proper?
They might cancel you this industry.
They might once they blacklist you in this industry.
They might.
Except you're somebody that has 100% composure to move on without the industry, right? And we have very few people like that. A lot of people depend on the ecosystem
for jobs,
to grow, for jobs, connections, and all of those things, right? So except you're somebody that can bring up that independence, compose yourself. You'd be able to speak up and nothing will happen.
But why would how will I put this question? Why would people be supporting somebody that they know is a scam?
They might not know, right? So I feel like most time they don't know. Most time they don't know, right? Now your guy you won't tell your guy go bring. Okay, you don't ask me to book my certificate once for you before. No, you don't ask me anything before. No, right? Now your guy and you
but
see
it happens everywhere.
He pull up in the nice ride.
So even if you guys guys or something like that, won't you suspect? Won't you see some kind of funny missing dots that you need to
write code? But again, I think we are like over time a bit, right?
Yeah.
So in conclusion of this whole thing, right? What do you feel like is the best way to put your best foot forward in the tech industry, right? We'll talk about career lines, packaging, difference and stuff like that. For your personal opinion, right? So, what do you feel like is the best way for anyone coming to the industry to, put their best foot forward?
Okay, so I would say do good work to eventually speak for you. I mean, there's something called preparation equals to opportunity. So the more you keep preparing, eventually that opportunity will come and it will just skyrocket you to that stage that you didn't think you would get to. Secondly, get a mentor. People underestimate mentorship, but you don't just get a no be waiting.
I didn't say anything, though. I didn't say anything.
But seriously, get a mentor because forget the fact that people have ruined what mentorship is supposed to be about. In the real sense, a mentor is supposed to be someone that will help you cut your journey short. Because they've made all the mistakes, they've done all the stuffs and all of that. So they're supposed to guide you in the right path. So do good work, continuously improve on yourself, get a mentor and brand yourself. Just continuously talk about what you're doing. Where I'm working currently, I'm not going to mention any name, I got that role by talking about what I do. I didn't necessarily apply. I mean, if I were to see that job posting somewhere, I'll probably think that I'm not qualified. I'll think that I'm not qualified, and then someone else will apply and get in. So the fact that I was constantly talking about my work, got that interest. I got DMs and all of that. And then when people see that you know your source, what people now classify as tech influencers is you have to be posting, you have to be talking, whether a good or a be no good. There's a guy that I think you know that guy because we were talking about it the other day. There's a guy that does designs. From junior designer, started copying people's designs to be posting as his own and giving his take on it.
That's another discussion.
Before you know it,
I think we need to come back to that discussion, right? But the design industry
is very different.
Before you know it, now he's now an influencer.
Yeah.
For someone that just started his Twitter account few months ago, you're now an influencer posting people's work and claiming as your own, right? So posting stuffs regularly that is genuine, not something that if they can't catch you now, they will tell you say you copy this thing somewhere, and then you can't even defend yourself or defend it. So yeah, that's just what I would say in summary. Do good work, get a mentor, brand yourself, talk about what you do. That opportunity will definitely come. Nowadays, people don't really hire. I think there's a documentary I watched a few days ago where the person said that companies now put out job posting because they want to, most of them actually, not all, most of them want to make the current employers feel like what help is coming on the way, and stuff like that. So companies don't necessarily put job posting out there because they want to hire. Half the time hiring comes from referrals. Hiring comes from someone seeing what you're doing. So if a newbie or a techie or whoever it is wants to continuously employ all of these techniques, I think it would work in their favor, really.
Awesome. Thank you very much for joining us in this amazing session. Checking out from how to put your best foot forward, mentorship, posting your work, understanding the thin line between packaging and career life, and everything you shared. We really appreciate you. So I don't know. I think this is end for me. So you could check us out on Twitter at Nothing_Africa. Go on YouTube and search for the Nothing Podcast. We'll be dropping amazing episodes. This is just one episode. Keep watching.
Keep watching, guys.
Keep watching, guys.
Just keep watching.
Just keep watching.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Exactly. Turn on post notification.
And comment.
For
What
next
would you
time.
like to see next?
Exactly. What would you like to see next, right? If you go on the website, right, Nothing.Africa, you could be able to drop your own gist. So if your institution, Bella was in few years back, whereby she was able to speak out regarding her stuff, you can go and drop that gist and just say, hey, what's up? This is happening. Drop proof. We might just be having that conversation in the next episode.
You never can tell.
Right? See you in the next episode. Timothy signing out.
Bye, everybody.